I would probably offer three general observations and then some specific elaborations of those observations. First of all, I think the concern rests with the general level of acceptability of this meeting taking place at all, the absurdity of many of the claims and proposed statements of fact that are shared with the group and that the TPLF spokesperson makes in the meeting, and the danger that the impression that the tone and the casual acceptance of the comments coming from the TPLF spokesperson and the way they're being supported and received by this group of retired/current diplomats, the danger that that gives to suggesting that this even aligns with aspects of the official positions of their governments, because one would assume that retired diplomats at best still want to maintain good relationships with their governments and at minimum or perhaps even play advisory roles, formal advisory roles with their government. So I would say that these former serving diplomats and whomever else was on the call appear to accept statements which are absurdly false and appear to accept numerous probably false statements of fact from the TPLF's chief Western Hemisphere spokesperson, a person with whom it is clear that they have very friendly relations is the first concerning point, and that it is wholly inappropriate for this meeting to be taking place at all, given that they are actually talking to a representative of this group which is engaged in an arms insurrection against a democratically, legitimately elected government, and which has resulted in thousands of deaths. Also, there's a casual acceptance of the normality of them attending this meeting, which suggests that these kinds of engagements are probably frequent, and that's concerning as well. I think the absence of any questions about the TPLF's activities since the war expanded into Afar and Amhara in July is particularly striking. But you know, one could argue that this is entirely consistent with a number of official positions of Western governments, some of which those on the call currently and formally represent. However, they have only recently acknowledged the extent of the atrocities by the TPLF. And I would say, lastly, specific assertions by the spokesperson, former Deputy Ambassador Deborah Christos, that they know about bodies that have been dumped into the Tekeze River, and B, that they're expecting something to result in the fall of Prime Minister Abiy's government soon. These kind of claims are both provocative and alarming, and the absence of questions about these two assertions is very odd. For A, this almost certainly indicates that the TPLF has played a role itself in dumping more bodies into the river as part of a renewed propaganda effort, and B, this could be a reference to a lot of things, but sounded very ominous. So the absence of any response to this from the audience, I think, is very concerning.